Hi, my name is Alex Romo and I am a full-time travel filmmaker. I've had the privilege to work with a ton of brands such as Sony, Canon, ViewSonic, Google, Artlist, to name a few of them. And I've even had the privilege to work with a ton of iconic celebrities such as The Rock, Serena Williams, Orlando Bloom, Austin Butler. But aside from all of that, I'm here to give you my 5 tips on cinematic travel filmmaking, so let's get right into it. Number 1, story is so important. I think as a filmmaker, especially nowadays, everybody focuses on everything being so fast, so appealing. You know, you're trying to grab people's attention, but what always wins is story. And when I think of story, I think of first having some type of structure to it. And what comes with structure is having some type of shot list. So before I even head out on any type of trip, I try to have a shot list of certain essential shots that I need for my film to give it that elevated cinematic feel to it. Aside from that, I think what's also important, especially when I'm making more of my narrative pieces, I like to focus on the script. And before I even set out on a trip, I'll work with the script and the music and already cut that together prior to even shooting my first shot. What that does is help me understand the ebbs and flows of the edit prior to shooting so that I can kind of see the type of shots that I kind of want to get and also the movement and the depth I want to get within those shots. Doing this will help kind of elevate your videos from more travel social cuts to more elevated cinematic pieces. Number 2, I like to think that coverage is super important when it comes to these types of films. Instead of stringing along just a bunch of experiences and just some random shots that you're trying to get, if you shoot for coverage, you actually get a ton of different angles of the same shot, which gives the scene a little bit more depth. It's kind of like what you see on the big screen, where you see the same shot, but it's shot at multiple angles, at different focal lengths. And what that does is it helps drive in the viewer a lot more to what they're watching. And now they're a lot more open to what you're trying to tell them, especially in post. When you're trying to build out certain scenes or certain sequences, it just really helps you have enough to work with, but also allows your edit to have a lot of movement and flow through it. Number 3, what I would say is to always remain adaptable to what the conditions give you. As you can see, we're at a beautiful location, but 5 minutes ago when we tried shooting this, we were actually getting drenched by rain. So always be prepared of what you're gonna get, whether it's sunny weather, moody tones, weather conditions, especially because the best shot that you have is always what's right in front of you and what you can get in the moment with whatever you got. Number 4, I would say researching some type of itinerary is super critical to these beautiful locations. I'm lucky because I have a girlfriend that makes a lot of itineraries and helps us plan out a lot of the traveling, but this kind of comes in the form of some type of on-field producer. What that does is it allows you to maximize your time at these spots. So then you can focus on the shots that you want to get and the story that you're trying to tell. What I'd also say is that if your itinerary is set up with a ton of epic locations, the time that you're going to visit these locations is very important, especially because right now we're actually in Iceland during midnight sun. So it's around 10 o'clock at night right now, but for us, we're lucky that the sun never sets. So we came to this location, particularly at technically night, but it's during the day, so that we can have this spot all to ourselves and it's pretty clear of any big crowds. Plus, you might have to get up a little earlier or go a little later to these spots, but I've never seen a sunset or a sunrise that I've ever regretted seeing, so I would do that if I was you. Number 5, and probably the most important tip of all, is that in this space, just like in any space, I think community is just so important. And I know most people would be like, how is community going to be helping me become a successful cinematic travel filmmaker? Or how is community even a tip? But let me tell you this, when I first started this, I came across some of the most amazing, incredible, kind, and talented people that, I really looked up to before I could even call myself a travel filmmaker. And by surrounding myself with these amazing people, I not only learned a ton from them, but they also taught me that I had a voice, and that voice needed to be heard. These strangers became friends, and they soon became family. And I feel like in this industry, just like in any industry, community is the most crucial thing that we can strive for, and that, there's enough food at the table for everybody. And I owe my whole career to the people that have helped me get to where I am today. So these are my 5 tips on cinematic travel filmmaking. My name is Alex Romo. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube at Alex Romo, or on TikTok as Alex Romo Travels. Thank you guys so much. It's such a privilege to talk to you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.